Hello everyone and welcome to the video note for exercise 2.14. In this video we're going to calculate the user's body mass index or the body mass index of a person. Now this is kind of an equation that gives you a ratio between a person's weight and their height to try and gauge whether their weight is suitable for their body. I'm not a dietitian, so I can't give you too much more detail than that. So anyway, in this video what we need to do is obtain input from the user, perform the calculation to calculate their body mass index, and display the result. So with that, let's get started. In Eclipse, I've created a new project called exercise 2.14, and to this we're going to add a new class. Now, in all the videos up until now, we've been naming our classes meaningful names based on what they do, and really this is best practice. You should always give your classes meaningful names. However, to keep things a bit more organized, for these exercise videos, I'm going to name the class whatever the exercise is. Okay? So in our case for this video, the class is going to be called exercise 2_14 because we can't have dots inside our class names. Now, just keep in mind that it's up to you. If you want to give your class meaningful names like, I don't know, you could call this one Compute BMI, that would be fine. I'm just going to name my classes like this, so it's a bit more organized for us later on. So with that little sidetrack, let's start writing some code. I've said that we're going to obtain input from the user. Now what this means is we'll need to import scanner. So import java.util.scanner. Okay, now inside our class we're going to have a main method. So public static void main string array, args. Okay, so because we're reading from the keyboard, we should create our scanner object. So scanner input equals new scanner, and we're reading from system.in, which is the keyboard. The next thing we're going to do is tell the user what we want from them. So system.out.print to print a line to the console, enter weight in pounds. And then we will read in a double and store it inside a double variable called weight. So double weight equals input dot next double. Now we're going to do the exact same thing but for height. So system.out.print, enter height in inches. Double height equals input dot next double. So we've obtained the weight and their height, and now we can actually perform the calculation. But what calculation do we need to do? Well, the body mass index is an equation that looks like this. It's the weight in kilograms divided by height multiplied by height. And height is in meters, by the way. So that's what we need to do. It's the weight divided by height times height. Now, right away you'll notice there's probably two problems that we have here. The first one is we're getting the weight in kilograms, and the other one is we're getting the height in meters. Sorry, that's what we need them in. We're getting them from the user in pounds and inches. So we need to do some sort of conversion here as we go. So I can tell you that to go from pounds to kilograms, pounds to kilograms, we multiply by 0.453, and there's a few more, but that's a basic equation. And to go from inches to meters, so inches to meters is multiplied by 0.0254. So these are the constant values that we need to use to convert the input the user gives us into something that we can actually use directly to compute the body mass index. So let's jump over back to Eclipse now. What we're going to do is declare a variable, and it's going to be a double, and we'll call it BMI. Now what we're going to do here is just put the equation in. So actually I'll make this a bit bigger so we've got some room. So it's going to be weight multiplied by 0.453592337. I'm just reading this from my other screen. That's where I got this number from. So then we're going to divide this. Now we need parentheses here, so our order of operations is correct. It's going to be height multiplied by 0.0254 multiplied by height multiplied by 0.0254 and semicolon at the end. And that's how we can compute the body mass index if we're given pounds and inches. So what we should do next is print out what the body mass index actually was. So system.out.println BMI is, and we'll concatenate BMI onto the end. And there we have it. So that's all we need to do to compute the body mass index of a person. So let's try this out now and see how it works. So run as Java application. Enter weight in pounds. Now, you have to bear with me. I'm Australian and we actually work in kilograms and meters natively, the metric system. So I apologize in advance if the number I put in here doesn't make any sense at all. But let's just go with, I don't know, 180 pounds. I don't really have any concept in my head of how heavy that actually is. So, height in inches. Luckily, I do know that there's 12 inches in a foot. Let's say it's a 6-foot person, so we'll enter 72. The body mass index of a person who's 6 foot high and 180 pounds is 24.41 blah 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 blah. So, that sounds about right. So, let's just go with that. So, with that, that's it for this video. So, just to summarize now, in this video, we had to convert pounds to kilograms and inches to meters. Now, the reason we did this is because it's important that we allow the user to enter data in units that they're comfortable with. Now, for the US in particular, inches and pounds is where it's at. For me, you know, I was a little bit confused because Australia generally works in kilograms and meters anyway. But the lesson here is you should always obtain input from the user in a format they're comfortable with because it's very easy for computers to do the conversion. So we obtained the height and weight from the user using scanner, and then we used variables to store the result of this calculation, and we displayed the result. So with that, that's it for this video. We've worked out how to calculate the body mass index of a person. Thanks a lot.